are you doing? This is K24 alfagiri, hanging out with me. Mina, get at me on social media at Amina_Kenya, which is also my same handle for Sarah H. Okay, thanks. Okay, bye. Now, let me shock you. It's only 4 months to the end of the year. Did you have some goals? Did you have some things you said you're going to do? If you were to get married in 2017, Ian, 4 months. So I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know how that's going to happen. Now, for a lot of us, we set goals for ourselves. And for some reason, you don't meet it, or you don't get to do the things that you wanted to do. And one of the few conversations that we rarely have is how to better where we are or who we are. And this is mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, with the people who you surround yourself with. And that's why we decided, you know what, it's time that we had one of my very good friends, Robert Burale, who's also a motivational speaker. He is an author. He is just a lot of things in one, and he's such good energy to have around. Becoming a better you. That's what we're going to talk about today, Burale.
Yes.
So other than an author and a motivational speaker, what else do you do?
I'm a minister of the gospel. I'm an actor.
Yes, you are.
A father to the most beautiful girl in Eastern Central Africa.
Ish, okay. And yes. You're an MC.
I'm an MC.
An amazing MC.
Thank
an amazing
you.
MC.
And I'm a trainer, corporate trainer as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you become a better you? Especially when you think you're already better or good.
Well, that's the first mistake people do when you think you have arrived. The first step is that you must have an introspection, a very honest surgery of yourself. Because you can portray a different picture to the public, but you can never lie to yourself. Is to have a serious analysis, have a conversation with the man in the mirror. Look at the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you start from there. And once you do that, you start starving the ugly and start feeding the good. But number one is understand where you are. And you're saying if Ian wants to get married this year, and he has 4 months, he has to look at the mistakes maybe he made. People want to get married, but they don't position themselves to get married. Ladies pray 12 hours a day in the house and don't even go on a date. You're not going to get married. You have to be realistic and decide with the time that is left based on your targets. You have to look at the mistakes you made. Where did I go wrong? And the number one thing is you are not where you're supposed to be. And then number two is what steps are you supposed to take? Get out of the pity party. Get out of the pity party. Stop regretting, because you can never recover time, but you can redeem time. You understand? So ask yourself, what do I need to do? Who are the people around me? The reason some of us are not better today than we were yesterday is because of the people we hang around with. And doesn't mean that they're bad people. Some good people are bad for you. If you hang around 4 millionaires, you will be the 5th millionaire. But if you hang around 4 fools, you will be the 5th fool. So decide now who to sieve, who to get away from your circles, so that you have a clear vision of where you want to go. You understand?
Yeah, but the other thing, is it that you're scared of how people perceive you? Because a lot of the times that the people you have to let go are such fun people. You know what I mean? They're your friends. They're so funny. They're so good to be around.
Funny can lead to tears.
We just laugh a lot.
But you can't laugh every day. There's time to laugh and there's time to work.
So when you're telling them to leave, it's because now you've changed. Then now they say, "Hey, Burale, excuse me, amebadilika."
That's okay. That's fine. As long as within yourself you know you're doing it to get better and you're not really putting someone else down or making them feel bad about themselves. But there comes a time that you have to think about yourself. Because some people who are fun are people who will take you to your grave. You understand what I'm saying? You can't be laughing from Monday to Sunday. There's a time to work. There's a time to be serious. You must hang around people who challenge you. Not people who laugh at your jokes all the time. People who will tell you, let's do business. Not let's go and have shisha all the time. People who will say, you know, people are thinking this low, we need to think that high. People who challenge you to be better academically, to be better as a person. You understand? But remember, there are people around you who are happy because you are playing in mediocrity or celebrating average success. You understand? When you are with people who celebrate average success, they're the ones who are holding the key to your mortuary. So you have to say goodbye, go. If you want to be better, hang around people who are where you aspire to be. People who will make you feel naked. People who will make you feel less educated, not by them putting you down, but by being around them. People who, when you tell them you want to go on holiday, and you say you want to go to Mombasa, they say, no, we are going for a conference in South Africa for entrepreneurs. Not people who will tell you, oh, let's go and have fun, let's go and drink ourselves silly, let's go and sleep around. No, not at all. People who will challenge you by how they're living their lives. And you will aspire to get to where they are. And as you get to where they are, there are people behind you who will also aspire to where you are. So catch me if you can kind of friendship is what you need. Not let's be on the same radar. You know, I mean, if I want to be a good presenter, let me hang around you. I cannot hang around a radio presenter if I want to be a good TV presenter. But I'm not saying you hate them. But they're people you must love from far.
Are you saying that we want one thing, but we do another?
Absolutely.
So you want to be wealthy, but you also want to sit at home every day.
You want to be wealthy, but your mind is full of poverty. In fact, you are the headquarters of poverty because it starts up here.
So you want to be fit, and you
don't go
want
to
to
the
be trim,
gym.
but you watch gym videos while eating.
Yes, and that's where people are. You picture this beautiful lifestyle. You picture this thing that you want to be. But remember, it's not an abracadabra. You must make some steps. Blood, sweat, and tears must be there.
And we need to want to work. We need
You
to
have
want to push
You have to
ourselves.
work towards where you want to be.
Yeah.
So today, you have to look at the mistakes you've made today and make sure you don't make them tomorrow. You know, and say the one thing is that you must say goodbye to some people. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. You understand? And the problem is, it's easy to let go of people you don't like. But sometimes people you may not necessarily like are the ones who are important to you and for your upward mobility. You must have people who can rebuke you and tell you, listen, this is not how it's supposed to be done. If you want to be better tomorrow, you have to be around people who will not necessarily tell you what you want to hear, but they will tell you what you need to hear. But if you hang around people who laugh at your jokes, every day, believe you me, you're not going nowhere.
They're like, yes, man.
Yeah, people who are telling you, I think you are the best. Those people are the worst. And unfortunately, most of us hang around people who tell us what we want to hear.
Because it feels good.
But the results, the repercussions are not good.
But it feels good though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but after some time, when you're 70 and not married, will they be telling you the same things? Some will be dead. Some will be laughing at you. You'll be sitting under a tree, very single and broke. Broker than a church mouse, and then you start asking them, where were you? But I hang around people who challenge me, people who can tell me, Robert, I think you're messing around here. And as they challenge me, there are people who follow me that I challenge them as well. You understand? So please, whoever's listening, look at the people around you and start saying goodbye to them. If you hang around people who only send you, please call me thank yous every day, you're in the wrong crowd. Absolutely.
Ni times ni kubaya.
I don't believe in average success. I don't believe in mediocrity at all. I don't believe in hanging around people who are in the same level with me, because then you're taking each other to the morgue. You must hang around people who make you actually feel you haven't started living.
Now, there is a time when we're talking about people who party every day. These are mature people. When you're 20, 21, that's all you do, a lot of people. You're trying to discover yourself and whatnot. But when you're older, so you're in your 40s, late 30s, every single day you're partying. And you asked me, what are they celebrating every day?
If you see someone at late 30s, 40s, partying every day, that is a boy or a young girl. They're just growing up in age, but not in maturity. Because the older you get, your priorities must change. I cannot do the things I was doing 10 years ago because of my age and my priorities. My vision of where I want to be is changing. You understand? You will not get me in a nightclub. What am I doing in a nightclub? Dancing chini kwa chini until what? That's where your life is going, chini kwa chini. You understand what I'm saying? And look at the people who party at 35, 40. Please look for them when they're 50. Absolutely miserable. Broke of ambition, and they don't inspire anybody. And therefore, people, if you want to be better tomorrow than you are today, you must have, I call it the 4 kinds of friends. Number 1 is the person who has gone ahead of you, who has seen it all and is telling you, hold on to my back, follow me. I know you're scared, but I've been through this terrain. And then you have to have somebody who is on your right hand, if you're right-handed, who will tell you, I know your strengths. I will help you build your strengths. And then on my left hand, which is my weaker hand, you must have somebody who knows your weaknesses, but does not judge you based on your weaknesses, but wants to get you to leave or to shave off your weaknesses. Then you have to have somebody at the back who tells you there's danger coming. Since you cannot see, I'll help you fight the danger. You'll be better as a person. But if you have people who are on the same line with you, all you do is dance, smoke, sleep around, let me tell you, they're the people 10 years from today, you'll be sitting in Uhuru Park doing nothing. And if you're a man especially, a woman wants a man who is ambitious, who has a vision. So if you're all visionless, it's like a blind man trying to help another blind man cross the road. And if you don't have ambition and you want life to be better, I describe you as a person who is in a dark room, winking at a dark woman and expecting a reaction. Life is not going to react. You cannot take in lemon juice and burp out apple juice.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So please, cut off some friends. Have a conversation with the man in the mirror. Honest conversation. And then decide to be a person under authority if you're going to be a person of authority.
What if you have to get rid of all of your friends?
So be
because
it.
They all, okay.
So be it.
So that's something that has happened
So
before
be
as well.
it.
Okay.
And yes, and you said something. They will say you're boasting.
Change.
But as long as you know from the depths of your heart, you're doing it out of a good heart, it doesn't matter. You cannot please everybody. And if you want to be better, don't be a people pleaser. You cannot please everybody. Someone says if you want to please everybody, sell ice cream.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make the tough decisions and say, you know, this far, stay with the donkeys now. Where I am going, you cannot handle.
Yeah.
You must have crazy ambition, not stupid ambition, but you must have controlled ambition. You know, if you ask somebody one question, where will you be 5 years from today? If they take more than 30 seconds to answer the question, run away from that kind of person.
That's now in a relationship.
Yes.
Now, we've talked about trying to be a better you financially. You've talked about getting rid of your friends. You've talked about being around people who, you know, are where you want to be. You've talked about, you know, actually working on what this is that you want done. You can't just sit around and hope that things will work out. Let's talk about spiritually, right? If you want to be a better version of yourself spiritually, what should you do?
Leave the crowd. Spend time with your God. Spend time with your God. Center yourself.
Yeah.
Declutter yourself.
Let's talk about you, because now you're a man of God.
Yes.
You were not. 15 years ago, you used to be. Can I call it a sinner?
We are all here by the grace of God, but
Yeah.
15 years ago, I loved strip clubs, I loved having fun and all that.
Yeah.
But now I'm a different person. And why am I a different person? Because I decided to spend time with my God, read the Bible, go to church, look for mentors who have been there before. I submit to a Bishop David Moredi. You know, so people who have been there before and tell you, and are there to tell you, I will help you in this spiritual walk. If you build your spiritual muscle, physical temptations will be a whisper. As long as your spiritual muscles are louder, the physical temptations will be a whisper. We get temptations. I mean,
it's okay, you can say it. The ladies who come to pray, the stories that we see a lot of stories about pastors and people's wives. You can tell us about it.
No, the temptations there, Amina.
Yeah.
I mean, there are women all over the place, and you're tempted.
And you have no ring on your hand.
I have no ring on my hand.
So that's another problem.
Absolutely.
You should have gotten one. Just
Don't
for the
worry,
sake.
with time.
Just for the sake.
Just for the sake.
Yeah.
I can't lie to people, you understand? But what happens is I spend time in prayer. I spend time doing the things of God. And when you take care of God's business,
Yeah.
He protects you from falling for some things. So you'll not get me sleeping around. You'll not get me in nightclubs. You'll not get me drinking. You'll not get me smoking. Not because I'm the strongest man in the pack, but it's because I have built my spiritual muscle. And I want to build it every day. Tomorrow, I'll be better spiritually than I am today.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's also the issue of maybe accepting and forgiving yourself for some of the things that you did, because there's some people who feel like maybe they're beyond help because of maybe things that they did or the places that they were.
It doesn't matter what,
that?
I went through that,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter what you did yesterday. As long as you want to move forward. And unfortunately, there are people who I think are raised by the devil to remind you of the things you did in the past. But you've got to make peace with yourself and say, you know what, I cannot take back what I did, but I can certainly get better tomorrow. I will stop it. But the people who will still look at you with the eyes of the past. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're married. You're a mother.
Yes.
Believe you me, there are people who look at you with the eyes of the past when you're a single person. You cannot help such kind of people. Just let them talk, but be deaf to what they say. You can hear, but be deaf. Don't let it be inculcated in your spirit. So say, okay, fine, that's what you think, but I know who I am today. And people who backbite you can only do it from the back. So your forward movement is not impeded. And anybody who backbites you is interested in your backside. And the only thing interested in your backside is the toilet. So forget about those people who want to make you feel that you're not making upward mobility in as far as getting a better being a better person is concerned. You understand? But the problem is when you're moving forward and you still have your ears on the ground with the people talking about your past. So what will happen? As you move, you'll keep on turning to listen to what they say. And if you know about physical movement, every time you turn on the back, you slow your forward movement. And that's a problem. So you may slow down yourself 10 years because of listening to 10 years ago. So stop listening and keep on moving.
Is that part of acceptance? Just accepting what's happened to you?
Yes.
Like,
Accept.
you know, for example, if you've been through a very rough divorce, or if you've been through a very tough, situation that's personal, and everybody knows about it. Everybody in the society knows about it. Everybody in the community.
Like my case in point. It's
Okay,
not a
let's
secret.
talk about your case.
It's not a secret that my marriage failed. And for a while, I'd condemned myself. For a while, people condemned me. For a while, I thought I am now useless. I can do anything. But there came a time I said, you know what? You have to accept it happened. Because until I accepted, all I was doing is sitting in my house and not living, just growing a beard and looking like a confused person. But when I accepted, Amina, I said, you know what? It happened. I'm going to move forward. Because being bitter is like drinking poison and expecting the public to die. And I said, you know what? I will die. I'll be buried. I'll be forgotten. The world still needs me. I still need to live out what God ordained for me to do in this world. So I said, get up, dust yourself. But don't look at where you fell. Look at where you slipped. Where you fell is a manifestation of where you slipped. Go to where you slipped, clean it up, and then move forward. Because if you don't clean it up, you might either go back and fall, or someone else who is coming after you will fall. So I say to myself, okay, fine, I failed in this area. If I keep on being in this pity party, it means then I'm denying somebody in the future my happiness. So accept the mistakes you did. Accept the faults. Yes, you took drugs last year. You are sleeping around last year. But that's not who you are today. But some people will remind you how you used to take drugs, how you used to drink, how you used to sleep around. But within yourself, the voice should say, I know I did it, but I want to get better for myself and for the people around me. And keep on moving. So tomorrow is another day to make it better. But it will not silence the people who will still look at you with the eyes of the past. But what will happen, every time you keep on building yourself, the results will show. And nobody can argue with the results.
Because it's visible. You can
Nobody can argue with the results.
It's right
but
there.
haters will still be there. And in fact, the higher you go, it means you're clear for the enemies to shoot arrows. Build your thick skin if you want to be better. Because there are people who will try to bring you down. The African man has a mentality, what we call the crab mentality, that they want to bring you down. If you allow them to bring you down, you will come down. But you use what they do. It's like an eagle. An eagle uses the strong winds to catapult itself to a better place. So use the negativity, use the pains, use your experiences of the past to get better. Because in the things of God, there is no wastage. You understand? Oh, so Robert's marriage failed. Are you going to cry every day? No. Then what are you going to do, Robert? I'm going to talk to people on what not to do if you want your marriage to survive. So whatever was meant for evil, you turn to your own good. Oh, so Peter used to take drugs. Peter, what are you going to do with your past and drugs? You're going to stop the young people from taking drugs. Every time your negative is you use your negative to make other people feel better and be better about themselves, guess what? You're a better person.
Yeah.
A better person is the one who will use his life to impact other people. So make peace.
Make peace, very important. There is a movie called 8 Mile. It's a very famous movie if you love hip-hop like I do. And there's a famous rapper called Eminem in the movie. And he was going for a battle you know, so it's a cipher. It's where you battle people, but you're rapping. And what happened is when he went for, because he used to be dissed all the time. So when he went for this final rap battle, he insulted himself and said everything about himself that's bad. Talked about his mother being an addict, he talked about where they live, how poor they are, how his teeth are bad, how his hair is thin, every single thing. And then he rapped about it, killed it, and then handed over the mic. And the other person had nothing to say because that was the plan, to put the other person down.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like if you accept it, there's nothing other people can say.
Accept where you are. And I talk to people through my meetings and a few people I talk to one-on-one. I have orphans who come to me and I tell them, get over it. If you hang around and walk around like an orphan, you will not be a better person, but you'll be a principality in the party called pity party. So get up. The world doesn't care, unfortunately. The world doesn't care that you're a single mother. The world doesn't care that you're a single father. But you know what? If you keep on waiting for them to care, you will not be a better person. Just decide, you know, accept this is my situation, and I'm going to make the best out of my situation. You're a Form 4 leaver. Let me tell you, the world doesn't care. People will pretend they care. Or even, let me tell you, if you have 10 friends, 2 genuinely care. Don't get it twisted. 2 genuinely care. The other 8 pretend they care. When they turn their face, when you turn your back, they start putting you down. So once you accept your situation, you will now not be held hostage by that situation. If I look at myself as a divorcee, and that's all I walk around, let me tell you, I will not have an identity.
Only embracing the mistakes and the failures.
No,
okay.
It's just using that as a stepping stone to be better. If you look at yourself as, there's this gentleman who I think has been released from prison, Peter Ouko.
Yes.
If he looks at himself as a convict,
yes,
he would still be a convict in his own mind. And he will not be able to be better. He will not be able to move. But he said, no, I'm going to remove myself from the shackles of my mind and make other people better. And you see what he's doing. The greatest prison is not the one that we see in the physical, but the prison of the mind. And only one person has that key. It doesn't matter even if you have the best preacher, the best motivational speaker, the best counselor around you. Only you has the key to unlock yourself from the prison and move forward to be better tomorrow.
Exactly.
Change your friends. Be a person under authority if you're going to be a person of authority. Accept your situation. Have an introspection and decide from this day forward, I will be better. I don't care how many baby steps I do. Baby steps after some time become grown-up steps. After grown-up steps, you'll become a sprinter to the highway of success. And success, by the way, is not the car that you drive. If you are a guest of honor in your own funeral, and all you hear people say is the watch that you had, the suits that you wore, and the car that you drove, you are a useless person. Nobody knows the car Mandela drove. Nobody knows the suits Martin Luther King had. To be a better person, it means your life impacting other people, not just yourself.
Let's talk about procrastination, which is also another problem and hindrance to a lot of people's journeys to success. How do you battle that?
It's the greatest demon. I'll give an example. You're a lady. A gentleman proposes to you, and you plan the wedding for December 25th. Come to December 10th, he says, let me take it to January 2nd. And then come January 1st, he says, let's take it to May 15th. What will you do? You'll give up.
I will.
And move on.
Definitely.
That's what success will do. Success will give up and look for the person who is ready to act upon what they say. You cannot postpone to do something today that you'll do tomorrow, and you really can do it today. If you can buy a cup of tea today, why are you waiting until tomorrow? If you can enroll to school, to college today, why wait until tomorrow? Because come tomorrow, something else will happen, and you'll take it to next week. So whatever you can do today, you must do it today. Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I think procrastination is, some people have it, some people don't. And it's an imperfection. And we all have them, and we have flaws. How do you get by or past the imperfections that you have?
This is what you need, like procrastination. What you got to do is every morning you wake up, or the night before you sleep, write the things that you're going to do tomorrow. Or if it's this morning, write them down. Then in the evening, when you get back home, you take what you wrote in your diary and start ticking the things that you did and look at the ones that you missed. If you have a 70% success rate, you're on the highway to the right address.
Yeah.
But if you are on 30%, 40% downwards, then there's a problem. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So always go back in the evening and do an analysis of the day. Try and get to 70% success. If you can 100, 100 is not realistic.
Yeah.
But anything over 70%, I think you're good to go.
It's good.
Yes.
So we're talking about owning imperfections and flaws, because we all have them.
Yes.
Okay? We all do. And, you know, it could be your height. It could be that you're disabled. It could be anything. How do you get to own it?
I'll give an example about myself. I'm Luya, so my nose is a bit big. And I used to grow up and I'm told, hey, your nose is big. And I said, hang on a minute. And I used to have a big head, I was told. I just got into it. So I said, it's not going anywhere. So I started saying, I think my head is big because I'm very intelligent. I can store in very good stuff. You understand? And I said, you know what? If I let the negative come, then I'm not going to embrace the good. So what you've got to do is accept. If you're short or vertically challenged, you're not going to go to a prayer meeting and behold, you have become tall. You start have to look at yourself and say, okay, fine, short people, what is good about me? First and foremost, dress well. Don't wear a pinstripe suit because it will make you look shorter. Start getting the right things for short people. Even the sports. If you're a short person, don't join volleyball. Don't join basketball because they'll make fun of you.
Yes.
Play table tennis, something that you're good at, that your height can allow. Then when you start seeing they can be good out of being short, then you'll embrace it.
Yeah.
But especially the things you cannot change.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm dark. Okay, I like being dark. But imagine if I wanted to be like a 0.5. I'm not going to go and do cosmetic surgery. You say, okay, fine. What about dark? They never said tall, light, and handsome. They said tall, dark, and handsome.
So you try to always twist it and make it work for you?
Absolutely. You must. If you're a short person, the reason you're feeling bad is because you're going for trials in basketball teams.
Yeah.
You should get now into table tennis. If it's a sport, if it's an instrument, play the drums because you're always sitting.
Oh my gosh. And no one can tell.
Yeah.
So you just look at it half full, not
You
half
got
empty.
to turn it to your good, especially the things that you cannot change. Don't concentrate on the things you cannot do based on what you call is an imperfection.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
I cannot sing to save my life. But I'm a good speaker. So I'm not going to ask people to give me a gig to sing, but let me speak. If you're a good singer, stop trying to fit in the speaker's world because you'll be at the bottom of the pile and you'll start feeling bad about yourself. Always turn it to your good. It may be arrogance, but there's a thin line between arrogance and confidence. Amina, you got to step on that line.
Very, very thin. Oh, you have to be right on the line.
You have to step on that line.
A pinch
You
of
have
both.
to. Let me tell you, I have no problem in some bit of arrogance, as long as the arrogance is not putting anybody else down.
Okay.
It's standing up and looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, my goodness, if I wasn't me, I would be jealous of myself.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you the truth. You got to do that. Okay. Look, in fact, this evening, go look at yourself in the mirror.
And say that.
Look at the good and say, man, God took his time.
Yeah. Because you have to see yourself beautiful first for
You
other
got to
people
speak
see
it.
yourself
You got to
beautiful.
speak it. You have to speak to yourself. You have to say, I am good. Even the things you say. I mean, well, I come to you and I say, Amina, how are you? Then the word that says, tunangangana tu.
Oh yeah. Because you're trying to be humble.
That's not humility. That's stupidity.
Oh gosh. Is it?
Ati tunangangana. We are struggling.
Tuko tu.
No wonder your life is a struggle because what you say carries power. Even the Bible says, life and death is in the tongue. You cannot say tunangangana and you expect your life to be a success. You cannot hang around with mediocrity on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then expect success on Sunday.
So what do you say when I tell you, you look good, you're doing well, Burale? What do you say?
Thank you very much, but it's something that I'm very aware of.
It's like, to God be the glory or something?
Yes. I mean, if you tell me I'm looking good, you're going to get tired because you're going to tell me every day.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, oh, thank you, I'm trying. I'm not trying. I know I look good.
Burale.
So if you don't tell me, I know I am looking good.
Atusiponambia.
Yes.
I already knew.
Maybe it's because you'll get tired. Because out of 30 days, you'll tell me 30 days that I'm looking good.
Yeah.
So it's good to save your breath once in a while.
And this is something that you sort of had to get into, telling yourself you look good.
Yes.
To make yourself feel good, to make yourself mentally...
I am blessed.
Yeah.
I am the first and not the last. I am like an eagle. I will soar to great heights of success. But, tunangangana, how are you doing? Tuko tu. Unaendeleaje?
And you're doing well. You have a job, you have a car, you have a family.
Yes. There's no point of acting humble. There's humility that is actually fake. Humility is not wearing a torn shirt. No. If you need to wear Brazilian weave, please put it on. Avoid synthetic.
If you can afford it.
Yes.
Why not? No.
There's fake humility that is going around this town that is actually annoying. And that is why people are celebrating average success. To be better, it must start in your mind and you speak the right words.
So you've heard people saying things about Burale na jidai sana.
Yes, I've had.
And
Some
you're
even my
happy,
very
like,
close
good.
friends.
Oh, really?
Oh,
How
and
do
I-
you act on that?
I just smile. I said, they'll catch up sometime.
And it doesn't affect you at all because you've already...
Not at all.
you're like-
Anybody who makes you feel bad about yourself is actually amplifying their own insecurities.
So in a relationship, when your boyfriend, when your girlfriend, your wife or husband, who we've heard, can break your spirit, how do you move on from that?
Especially, they say the women have AK-47 mouths. You have to be very careful what you say to your husbands because, we are ego. So what you got to do is whatever negativity comes forth, you must counter it with a positive word. You understand? Not just keep quiet. You are cursed. I am blessed. You must counter. Like in a football match, when an opponent scores, you must work hard to score and then get better.
Yeah.
So people keep quiet and start crying. And that's why they're mark timing or taking 1 step forward and 10 steps back. And let me tell you, one of the greatest secrets about being a better person is making sure your enemies don't have a party.
What does that mean?
It means that failure must not come near you because your enemies are waiting for your failure to start celebrating. So you'll challenge yourself to be better all the time because there are people with binoculars waiting for you to fail. So that should be the fuel that will spur you to success and to be better. Oh, Amina is not a good presenter. Oh, you're going to be better tomorrow. Amina, Robert is not a good speaker. I'm going to watch motivational speakers. I'm going to study. I'm going to read books to be better. Just to silence the mouths of the people who are waiting for you to fail.
And sometimes we think people are haters, but sometimes it's, I think, positive criticism. Because maybe there is something that I wasn't doing right and someone points it out, and they so well do on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, by the way, you must be able to differentiate between haters and genuine criticism. Genuine criticism are people who actually criticize you or tell you things about your flaws with a view to make you better. You must embrace that and work on it. But remember, it must be from a place of genuineness to make you better. But there are people who tell you things to crush you. Those you ignore. You cannot stop, but you ignore. But be very careful. Make sure you do not chase away the people who tell you things to make you better.
Okay.
That's why I said you must be a person under authority if you're going to be a person of authority.
All right.
Yes.
Fantastic. So now that we're, running out of time, I want you to look at the camera and I want you to, give a message. Talk to someone right now who definitely, as life, works out, needs to hear this message this morning, how to be a better version of yourself. So your camera is
Camera 3?
there. Yes.
Well, I don't know what you're going through right now. I don't know what people have said about you. But you got to look at yourself and say, you're better than this. As long as there's blood running through your veins, you have a day to become better. Please, deaf your ears from the haters and decide to listen to the right things. But also remember, speak to yourself. And let me tell you, you're built for greatness. There is no way you're brought to this earth for average success. There is no way you're brought into this earth to fail. There's a better of you that we need to see. Let us see the real you. Let us see the greatness manifest in you. You may be in a slum right now. You may be living in a one-roomed house, but that should never control where your mind can take you. Let me tell you, they can deny you a car, they can deny you a house, but no one has the capacity to deny you from dreaming. And when you start dreaming, it's a stage to becoming better and actualizing that which you see. Guess what? You can do it. Let nobody tell you you cannot do it. So today, look to the future eyeball to eyeball and tell the future, I'm coming after you. I only have two solutions to succeed, and number two, to succeed the more. You can do it.
There's no other option. It's succeeding or succeeding.
Yes.
Doing well. And remember, success means different things.
Absolutely.
You know, for some people, it's money, financial. Some people, it's physical. Thank you so much, Burale.
Thank you, Mina.
I really appreciate you coming every time on the show. And I tell you this every time you come.
Thank you.
Here on the show. He's a single guy, by the way, ladies. Man of God, you're welcome. Nimewambia nitacha number 07220. Ian Wafula, did you miss me? I missed you.
Just a bit.
I missed you.
Especially the bit that we didn't have alfagiri Friday on the Fridays.
Yeah.
Was a bit depressing.
Because of alfagiri kitchen.
Now I'm glad that alfagiri kitchen is back this Friday. But also something else, Amina, we've been taking a look at how the traffic is, and rather whether there's a bit of normalcy as reported. I believe we have that shot.
No, we don't have that shot. However, we do know that people are going to work. We had some images from Bagathi. Yes. We had some images from Mombasa and Mombasa Road. So here in Nairobi, slowly watu wameanza kuku. Si hata mimi nimekuja job. So watu si wameanza kukuja job. Ebu tuendeni job nyinyi, mwache jokes, mwache jokes.
But every time, make sure you watch alfajiri between 6 to 9 and then you can go to work.
Yeah. We've talked to employers. Tell them tumesema sawa sawa.
Does this show you have to watch every morning before I leave?
That's true. That's true. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being with us. The show has been, of course, incredible. It's going to be on YouTube right after this. My name is Amina Abdirabbar.
And my name is Yonofula. Have yourself a lovely day. Let's do this again same time, same place tomorrow.